we are in a little bit of a different location today. We're not in our normal conference room, and I'm joined by new people today. This is really exciting. We're currently at Locust Lane Elementary School in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, one of the sites of our School Sense program. And we're going to be talking about how do you learn about money as a kid? How do you develop those skills of saving and spending? And I'm going to have my guests introduce themselves first with Rachel.
My name is Rachel Orlowski. I have been at Royal for going on 4 years, and I manage 6 school sites within the Chippewa Valley.
Rachel, tell me a little bit about the school sites, School Sense. Just like a brief overview, what is that?
Yeah, School Sense is one of Royal's signature programs. It began back in 1993, and the goal is to provide financial education for students at school.
Perfect. And we have one of our School Sense tellers with us. Ani just started her job. Tell me a little bit about you, what grade you're in.
I'm Ani, and I'm in 5th grade, and I really like sports, and I have a dog, too, and one brother.
Yeah, we're all, the 3 of us are all team members together at Royal Credit Union now. We all work for the credit union, which is really exciting. Mrs. Vang, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Kua Vang, and I've been an educator for the Eau Claire Area School District for 25 years. I taught first grade and second grade for quite some time, and then I stepped into the leadership role during COVID. So I've been here at Locust Lane for 6 years in this administration role. Throughout my career, I have also been at schools that have had the School Sense program as well too, and I'm also a mother of 2 children in the Eau Claire School District who's also been leaders for the School Sense program.
Have they had the chance to be tellers?
They did, and I'll share a little bit more of their experience if we have time for that too. But just being an educator, seeing from that point of view, and then also seeing as a mother their pride in being tellers for the School Sense program.
Ani, your first day as School Sense was yesterday. Tell me a little bit about how it went.
It was super fun, and I got to count the money, and I learned some stuff too about a coin, and I didn't know there could be a coin that was worth like $1, so I learned that, and it was super big.
So somebody brought in a $1 coin, and were you like, what is this? Or did you have to talk to Rachel about it?
Yeah. At first, I thought it was 50 cents, but then we turned it over, and it said the $1 on the bottom.
Rachel, what was the conversation? Does that happen a lot? What were those kind of conversations like?
It does, and that's one of my favorite parts of the School Sense program. The students have the opportunity to practice counting money by counting the deposits that students bring. They enter it into the computer. They promote the program with their peers. But one of my favorite parts is when we get what I would deem maybe an unusual coin or bill, a $2 bill or a $1 coin. And it's fun. I make all the students stop working, and we look at the coin and we make some observations. And it's always fun, especially in Ani's case where she said she had never seen a dollar coin before, to get to have that experience.
Ani, what is your feeling about money overall? What are your thoughts about money?
It's something you can use to buy stuff you may need or want in life, and you can also save it to get more in the future, maybe.
Now, you did a tour at Royal Credit Union's Corporate Center, and then you've worked your first day. Have you learned anything so far from those experiences?
I guess more of like what money means and how you can use it and stuff.
If you had $100 today, what would you do? Would you save it or spend it?
Save it at RCU, and like I said a little bit earlier, like I can get more from it maybe in the future, and then use that to buy something I may want or need.
That's a great answer. It was totally unscripted.
Yes.
If you guys had $100, what are you looking to save or spend right now? Is there anything you're saving for?
My husband and I are saving for a house, so we'd probably put it in the house fund.
I would save it as well too. I think Annie just hit it right on the head there, that it's important for us to save and invest. I know that my kids are really big into Pokemon and that they would see that as an investment. And I would say I could invest it in that for them too, but I would totally invest the $100.
It's always hard to have those conversations with kids because, you know, it doesn't feel like you're doing anything when you're saving it, but you can spend that money on a new video game. And so I try to teach my kids that it's a balance of both of those things, right? Is using money for things that you want to buy, but also learning that savings also important for the future. Do you remember when you first learned about money? Did you have conversations with your parents?
Well, I remember when I was like 4, I think, I got a piggy bank. And I remember putting my first coins in it and learning what like a penny was for my mom and parents.
That was something you guys sat down and talked about?
Mm-hmm.
I remember going into my local credit union as a kid and getting suckers, and then that always like made me want to go into that place, right? We'd always go into the credit union and get suckers. How about you guys? Memories of those first conversations about money?
I remember when I was a kid, my parents had a mortgage for their house, like many do, and they really instilled the value of paying down the mortgage in my brother and I. And even though we didn't really know what a mortgage was or why it's even important to pay it down, every time they reached a certain threshold, we would have a celebration as a family. And so even from a young age, I knew the value of paying down debt. Similar to Ani, I had a piggy bank with saving and spending and giving to know that it's valuable to not just spend any money that you get, but to save it and to give it too.
Was there conversations about interest that came up during those times? Or was it just like, we got to pay this mortgage off?
You know, I don't remember the exact conversations, but I do know that my parents did pay off their mortgage, and now they feel so much freer to be generous with their money.
I love that idea of throwing celebrations as you pay it down.
Yeah. My parents, when we were younger, they would always give us $1 every month. And by the time I was in 4th grade, I think I had saved close to $100. And I was super excited. And then when I started working, I got my first job. My mom helped me manage my money. And so she would say, you only need $20 for gas and for food. So I would give the rest to her. And I was able to save about over $10,000 by the time I graduated from high school, which, you know, at that time I didn't really understand a lot of the concept of paying off debt because I was always paying everything with cash. But as I got older, then I learned more about investment as well too, and the importance of the difference between like money and time are both very valuable things to people, and that with time, we can lose time and we can never get time back. But with money, we can, and we can invest it, and money can go, but it can come back too. So, you know, I think in different times in our life, money is revealed to us in different ways. So.
That's so interesting. What did you use the $10,000 for? Was it college, car, or just did you save it? And
yeah, I got married, so we did buy a car. We did put it towards a car, but I also used it to pay off other debt as well, too.
You didn't splurge and like go on a fabulous vacation?
I would have loved to, but it helped establish my marriage as well, too. Mm-hmm.
Do you think money makes, and this can be anybody, do you think money makes you happy? Why or why not?
Ooh, tough question.
These are the tough questions we're asking today.
I think money brings us happiness at the moment. It doesn't always bring us joy, but I think that it brings us happiness because it also gives us that instant gratification. But it does help solve some problems.
It can make us comfortable.
Yes,
right.
Yeah,
I think that's why my conversations with my kids about savings is all about building freedom later, building opportunity for you later, is that it's not instant gratification, but building a safety net that can support you later. Ani, what do you think? Does money make you happy?
Yeah, I think it can, but you can also be happy without it.
Is there anything that you think adults don't understand about money, or from a kid's perspective? We've all grown up and now we're lame and old. But from a kid's perspective, is there anything you think we need to know about money?
That sometimes kids might go crazy and buy a bunch of stuff, and maybe that's just their way of using it, but then they'll learn more when they're older.
That's awesome. I think that is true, is that we do need to take into kids' perspectives of what they're going through at the time. Let's talk about favorite donuts. Who has favorite donuts? What would be a good school sense donut that represents the school sense system?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is considered donut, but my favorite is the glazed croissant over at Festival.
Okay.
Just because I think that it has just a light, crispy taste to it.
That's a good school sense pastry, if anything else. Is that light touch.
Mm-hmm.
Annie, what do you think? What's your favorite donut?
Just like a simple chocolate donut.
I was thinking about this question ahead of time because I knew you were going to ask Steve. I think the donut that might encapsulate school sense would be a glazed donut with sprinkles on top. It has the solid financial foundation, basic, that everybody needs, but then all the sprinkles on top are all the fun stuff we get to do.
Run me through school sense. What are some of the things that Annie's going to do this year? What are some of the lessons you think her and her classmates will learn?
Yeah, so Ani is a teller this year, and so she will get to count deposits that students bring in to save into their savings account. She will get to enter those into our live system to put them into the students' accounts, and then she also helps them keep track of their deposits on their stamp card. But in addition to that, also student team members promote the School Sense program at school. They make posters and write announcements and work with promotions.
With your time at Royal Credit Union, have you seen students grow in this program, and how so?
Absolutely. Not only do students grow in their confidence of their skills within their roles as tellers or marketers, feeling more comfortable with counting money or getting faster with processing the deposits, but they also grow in confidence and leadership at school. Last year, there was a parent who told me about her daughter who, outside of school, developed more leadership qualities and felt more comfortable taking leadership opportunities because of her experience being a School Sense team member.
And I can speak more to that too. They come in to do announcements, video announcements for the whole school. I have seen kids become more articulate in the communication as well too, and taking pride in their role. They can advertise the importance of saving and how we can come together as a school to not only save for individually, but to help our school as well.
Yeah, and to that point, Royal Credit Union donates $250 when 500 deposits are made at a school site. And I know Locust Lane always gets lots of deposits, so it's always a pleasure to be able to bring that check in and support the school. So students know they're benefiting themselves by saving, but they're also helping their school.
Annie, were you nervous to apply, and what was that
Definitely.
What was the process like?
I remember hearing that my brother did it, and I thought, if he can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
So I just took my time on the paper for the interview, and I just did my best handwriting, and yeah.
What was the interview like?
It was not as scary as I thought it would be. It was pretty good, and I thought I did pretty good at the interview too, so I went out with a happy feeling.
Now, before you became a teller, were you bringing your pouch to school?
Yeah.
And saving?
Mm-hmm.
Rachel, tell me, how does that usually work at schools? I mean, I'm sure schools are a little bit different, but tell me about the student saving aspect of it.
Yeah, so any student that has a savings account with Royal Credit Union can save at their school site. We will get them a little blue pouch that they can bring to transport their money to school. And then here at Locust Lane, the marketers will collect the pouches on Tuesday mornings. And then during lunchtime, we will process the deposits. So students will then pick up their pouch after lunch. And then if they have a red prize coupon, they get to pick out a prize.
how important is the relationship between Royal Credit Union and Locust Lane, or the school district in general, as far as school sense? Like how?
Yeah, it really speaks into our school improvement of working with community partners. And so I think that it provides education for our students, hands-on learning, and again, that leadership development too, that our students can apply skills that they learn in the classroom. So math skills, reading, writing skills. And so I feel like that is a very important partnership that we can have together.
Tell me a little bit about, from the parent aspect, what kind of things did you see?
Yeah, just like what Ani said, I think the kids, my own children, felt very proud of themselves being able to go through the whole process of applying for a position and having choices if they want to be a marketer or a teller. And then when they are going through the training, feeling very adult-like, that they can go to a center for that training, and seeing them grow, becoming more automatic in giving change. And then at the end, having that recognition of that leadership. And so they get to experience this growth from the very start of applying to seeing the end result of like a whole year's worth of being or working for RCU. They always looked forward to RCU Day. And so, yeah.
So, we're at Locust Lane, an elementary school, but tell me a little bit about all the levels that we have of school sense.
We have 30 school sites within Royal's footprint, 13 of which are within the Chippewa Valley. And so we have school sites at elementary, middle, and high school levels. So for Locust Lane students, they could be a student team member, or they could save with School Sense from kindergarten all the way through their senior year when they get to North High School.
What's the high school program? What are some benefits? I know you don't work with those students, but just benefits that you've heard of those students.
Definitely. So at the high school level, students are part of an internship. And so they work at their school site, but then they also get to work at branches in the community. And so they get that experience, that real life work experience. And just this last year, one of the high school tellers then is now working as a MAR, a member account representative, in one of our community branches.
How important do you think financial education is for young people to have part of their lives, to have those conversations?
Well, I can tell you that they take their jobs really seriously here too when I see them working. But the importance of it is that students get to see that money it's an important role that keeps our community going. And it creates funding for the schools, for the kids, but yet at the same time, it allows students to understand, like what we talked about earlier, saving and investment, and then that you can use it for enjoyment as well too. So there's just so many aspects of it, and that students, when they're also learning math as well, it creates more of a practical aspect for them.
You see it in action, yeah.
Yep.
We were talking before the podcast, I can't remember if it was Christina who said that it's one of those things that no matter what job you have, it's going to be part of your life. So to develop those skills young, so important. Rachel, what other financial education? Financial education is very important to Royal Credit Union. What are some of the other things that Royal Credit Union does?
Yes, Royal Credit Union has a variety of signature programs. FUSE is Future U.S. Entrepreneurs, is another program for middle school students based on entrepreneurship. One of my goals this year is also creating a new signature program for middle school students. A coworker and I are collaborating on that. We also have test drive events, which are for high school students, and it's geared at giving them the opportunity to kind of test drive what it would be like to be a 25-year-old and have to make real adult decisions about their finances. We also have Go Big or Go Broke. That is a super fun life-size board game where all the participants are players around the board, and they have to make decisions. They answer trivia and decision and chance questions as they play the game.
Yeah. Can I just add too, because something that you said just kind of triggered my thought from earlier too, that when we teach kids about money too, I think because there's so many layers to finance, it also teaches about management. Because when we want to save and we want to have fun, how can we help the students to then manage their finance so that it doesn't become a stressful thing where they don't know how to manage it, where they can enjoy their money, but yet at the same time knowing that there are goals that they can set for themselves too. And so there's that aspect of goal setting. How can I also use that with that goal setting to help me manage my money?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to think about the attitudes that people have about money. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing mindset. It's not that you can never spend money on the fun stuff that you want, but it means that you have to sometimes balance that. And some of those attitudes about money begin in childhood. So Ani talked about her experience of having a piggy bank when she was 4. That's a great way to start off to start that conversation about money with kids.
Well, and the cool thing about this program is it calls for more opinions or more conversation. Is that the way that your family runs their finances is one perspective, but having other people talk about their finances makes you think and gives you more opportunity to figure out how you want to run your finances too.
But I think it is important to say that we shouldn't shy away from conversations about money. It's okay to talk about money.
Excellent. Ani, if you're teaching a class about money, what's the first thing that you would tell those students?
That you can use money in a good or bad way, and that it can help you get stuff you want or need in life. And you can also save it to get more later.
Do you have financial advice for young people?
Yeah, I would say that you should always seek somebody that knows how to save and have them help you with managing your money as well too, because sometimes we only know what we know. But if you can find somebody who has good financial management, I think that you should get a mentor to help you.
Was that person your mom when you were growing up?
That was my mom, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes a lot of people are afraid to ask for help, especially with finance, because they are not sure where to begin, or I think it's just knowing their insecurity about money as well too. So
I think for some adults, it can feel like you should have it all together, or by adulthood, you should know how to manage your finances. And that's not necessarily the case. Not only is it sometimes not even taught in school, or maybe if your family didn't talk about it while you were growing up, you wouldn't know. You don't know what you don't know. And so it's okay to ask questions and learn as you go.
I know it was your first day yesterday, but now that people have seen you with that Royal Credit Union shirt on, have people asked you any questions yesterday?
I did get asked if I worked there by a kindergartner. And yeah, we had to help them because some of them were going to the wrong place. So like where to go and stuff to start it. And I think one kid actually wanted to start one. And yeah, a kid tried to start one. So they gave him a slip to take home so he can start a RCU thing and get a pouch and start saving.
Often when we have our School Sense table up, students will come by and they're interested, they're intrigued. What's going on over here? And so we have postcards that we can give to them to take home to their grown-ups so that they can talk about opening an account.
Do kids get prizes for a certain amount of deposits?
Yeah.
What are some of is there any prizes that I should be looking out for?
Well, there's gift cards that you can get for like the movies or for like fast food places. And also there's like fidgets in there and fun toys that you can win.
And then some months there are challenges too, right?
Right. Yes. We do have promotions throughout the school year. So we'll have a Valentine's Day giveaway, or we do an all-student challenge where all students at the school can participate regardless of whether they have an account with us or not. And we give them prize coupons for a shopping spree at our prize table.
Is there anything else you'd want to say to parents or young students out there about the School Sense program?
Yeah, I would say that it's always great to start off young to teach skills. These are life skills that they will carry with them, and that students will always feel that they have something that's their own that they can manage as well too. They can withdraw, they can deposit, and that teachers can.
Yes, staff members, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's exciting when students see that a staff member or an adult at school has saved. It's exciting for them to see that. Of course, we're confidential about it though, right, Ani?
What do you learn at the corporate center? What happens at Royal Credit?
Stays at Royal Credit.
Yeah, perfect.
What happens at RCU stays at RCU.
Rachel, what any closing statements from you? What would you want to say to students or parents listening about School Sense?
I would say that it's never too early to start having conversations with your children or students about money and finances and, like Kua mentioned, money management. And to know that Royal Credit Union values education, and we want to partner with parents and with schools and teachers to help do that. Parents can either stop by one of our branches in the community, or they can go online to open up a savings account for their student. After that savings account is open, then we will provide them with a pouch that they can start using to save at school.
And you can also come into the office and deposit money there, and they can potentially get prizes from our offices too.
Yep, you sure can.
All right, I'm conducting my own research. This is the reason why I wanted to bring you guys all here today. How do you guys feel about apple fritter donuts, Ani?
I don't even know what those are.
Good. Thank you.
I am a very simple person, so I like my regular just glazed donuts and glazed croissants.
Yeah, apple fritters feels like too much stuff, and it's just gross. Rachel?
It feels like you have an ulterior motive here, Steve.
I'm pulling the audience. That's all I'm doing. I'm just getting opinions.
I don't have a strong opinion on it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening today. Thank you guys for being part of the podcast. You all did great. If people like listening to Money Donuts, they can always go to rcu.org/podcast and listen to past episodes. But if you're more interested about financial education, you can go to rcu.org/fined. Thank you guys.
All right.
Perfect. Thank you.